Good morning, YouTube. It's Trader Rob. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Let's see if the second day of April can be a little bit more lucky for us. Today is our 5% cash profit, so I'm not... We just tapped in right there. Let's just see. I told all my Signal members that we've got about a 10-minute pause on that one here. Of course, probably going to work out really nicely, but we'll see. All right, so that would have been TP there for 15 points. Almost 16 points. Oh, boy. It's been the story of our last couple of months here. All right, so we've got cash profit Thursday today. 5% of session profits are given away. Keyword is footprint today. So just type in footprint into the chat. And at 10:45, depending if I'm in some profit here, I'll run the giveaway. Morning, Real, Grant, Soul, Paul, morning. Nordic, Karen, Patel, Rob, Mike, William, Keith, Joe, John, Mo, morning all. AP, good morning. So kind of looking at our morning here. We got a key level here at the 23,883. We do have a seller unbalanced volume area sitting at the 23,966 to the 23,931. Bias here would be a pullback from this piece of unbalanced seller volume. Same thing up here, another piece of unbalanced seller volume at the 24,073 to the 24,114. So that's what we have to the upside here, and to the downside, do have a trading scalp here at the 23,575, targeting the 23,586.50 and the 23,592 and a quarter. Stop at the 23,563. And below that, we've got a few pieces of bigger buyer unbalanced volumes from buyers here at the 23,197 to the 23,158. Again, bias here would be a reaction to the upside. To have a signal at the not a signal, but we have a trade set up at the 23,099, targeting the 23,113 with the stop at the 23,084. Again, big piece of unbalanced volume here from buyers. So again, looking for a reaction to the upside. And then the last one, we do have another piece of buyer unbalanced volume here sitting at the 23,002 to the 959s. And we have a level here at the 22,595. So ideally what I'd like to see is a sweep of this level with a reaction. But on this case, for this particular band, what we could see would be a bigger swipe and a bigger move to the downside. So we'll keep those all in mind here. Looks like the market liked that 23,805. As far as the ES is concerned, we do have a big piece of liquidity. Again, they're about 5 points staggered out. I believe that this is the finishing positions from yesterday. So the biggest position is at the 6,500, which is right here. We do have a big piece of buyer unbalanced volume sitting at the 64.81 to the 64.61. Again, this would be my bias going into that level. And then above us, we got a key level at the 65.61. Another unbalanced volume here from sellers. And we have a scalping opportunity here at the 65.86, targeting the 65.82 with a stop at the 65.89. And then we've come into another selling imbalance here from buyers. You can see how big this volume profile is right here. And we have a key level sitting right in the middle of this band at the 66.17. Again, this would be one that I would definitely want to see it tap into here, and then a reaction to the downside. And lastly, in gold, we got a scalping setup at the 46.93.7, targeting the 46.88.8, with a stop at the 46.97.7. And for gold, we've got a pretty big, this would be considered like a weekly band here for buyers. Big unbalanced volume area sitting from the 45.58 to the 45.09. And we do have a trading opportunity here at the 45.22, targeting the 45.28 with the stop at the 45.17. Again, one of those areas that the market's going to have a very, very difficult time for gold getting through here. And same thing right here. Again, a big piece of buyer unbalanced volume, almost like a weekly band here. And again, it would be very difficult for the market to get through here. The 45.95s to the 44.58s. All right, we can get rid of this guy. Did finally catch the short yesterday. Felt like I was stalking that thing for 3 hours with you guys in the morning. Got my footprint confirmation. Can't see the whole image here, but got a great continuation footprint to the downside here. Rode that for 30 points. So that was a nice one to get me into profit yesterday of 1601. Morning, Smooth Operator. We have a piece of unbalanced volume here at the 23,740. Again, first retap of, well, maybe the second retap of unbalanced volume area. So we'll see if we can give this here a shot. Did not get filled there. All right, I'm canceling that. Unfucking believable, man. It's unbelievable. I mean, right to the tick. If I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Looks like it was off by a tick anyways. High on that candle was the 23,740s. All right, well, missed opportunity there. Good 15, 16 points there. Guys, give me 1 second, okay? Sorry about that. Need a quick bathroom break. Hey, Miss K. Good to have you with us. Let's see if we could break the top here at the 23,820s. Kind of in a no-go zone on the ES right now. So just had a few pieces of high impact news here this morning at 7:30. Not really, market didn't react to them. Really, it was pretty impartial. U.S. trade balance came in lower than expected, which is good. And U.S. initial jobless claims also came in lower than expected, which is good. Not the greatest for inflation news or rate decisions. Right, rest of the morning is pretty clear of high impact news. Obviously, just keep an eye out for any headline news that might come out. If you guys don't mind, I'd appreciate a like on the stream. Apex Funding is currently at 90% off sale for their Easter sale. You can always use code TraderRob. Lucid's at 40%, and Tradeify is currently at 40% as well. Pretty nonchalant morning here on the NQNES. Gold's making a move. Morning, Tiger Trades. Well, missed the setup already here this morning. Pretty much right to the tick. Didn't get filled there. Missed it there by a tick. Would have been a nice little 15-16 pointer for the morning. But it was not in the cards. See if this closes as a red footprint. Might take a short here. We still keep with that positive delta. Delta's dropping pretty quickly. Did have a nice flip here. So I'm going to see if we get any pressure to the downside here. All right, I'm going to take a short here. See if we get a quick pop. Stop should be above here on the footprint, but let's see if I can get a push here. 10 points. Not enough. Come on, give me a little drop here. Let's see what we're looking at here. Not gonna get it, I think. Come on. A little continuation here. Let's go. 18, okay. Man, it seems like even the 20-pointers seem just very tough. Very tough. Closed out. Yes, okay. It sure was. And as you can see, I had my stop loss dragged to about that 15-point mark. Just did not see the continuation coming pretty strongly. We still could get a break here, but we'll see. I'm rooting for you, Grant. Let's see if I can find you some targets here. So they need to balance this out for sure. That seems like your best target right now. It's just... it's a little sketchy though. Buyers absorbing pretty well. Tough little spot here. Not seeing anything on the bigger time frame here. The bigger range, I should say. I mean, if we get a green footprint here and we keep with this negative delta, to me, the signs would be of a continuation play to the upside. We've got a shit ton of volume right here, including right here. And it's seller volume, so we'll see. Doesn't look like they were able to break through there. All right, we got about 15 minutes here for initial balance to be set. What else do we got to the upside here? We got another piece of unbalanced volume. That one should be pretty interesting. So that was the sweep right there of all that volume that I was just talking to you guys about. I was hoping we'd get a flip right there. That would have been a nice little continuation model to the upside, but we did not get the flip on the delta there, so stayed out of that one. Looking for a quick long here. See if we get a continuation play here. That did not close as a footprint confirmation. Son of a bitch. Tried getting in early on that one there a bit, but that was not a flip. Not a flip right there. Tried to get the quick pump to the upside there. I only had a 10-point ATM set. Alright. Stay a little bit more patient for the next one then. I mean, I saw a shit ton of negative delta here, but it flipped really fast to positive delta. So that was not a continuation play for me. I want to see a green footprint with negative delta. I didn't get it. I'm looking at this candle very closely here. Nothing here. All right, let's see. Let's try this from a different approach here. This is our first unbalanced volume area. Let's see if we can tap into there and get a confirmation from in this box. And of course it gives it to us right here. That was the signal that I would have for continuation play to the upside. Let's see if they at least can tap in here. I don't know if they're going to give me that opportunity. You bastard. So that was the entry confirmation right there. That would have been good for at least 15, 20 points. Do have to be aware of that 24,000 number. The market loves to hang around right there. Just trying to see if we can dip back into this piece of unbalanced volume area and see if we can possibly target right here the 95s, 94s. See if this closes green. Flipped again. Sellers are trying to push down here a little. Excuse me. Seller's still pushing. See if we can break one of these. We can trap a few of the sellers right here. Come on, give me a quick pop. Quick pop, let's go. Shit. Oh, I almost had it there. Come on. Come on, we got liquidity there. ES has got liquidity sitting above it. Let's go. Oh, don't sweep me. Don't sweep me here. Oh, looks like I got caught up in the chop there a little. I think it was only good for about 10 points there at best. Yeah, like nine points. All right, well, we got IB set. So maybe that's the play to wait for here at this point. Let the market kind of decide what it wants to do. I guess it just needed to sweep me out right here. set. Okay, now we're ready. Come on. That's all I needed was a little sweep right there just to make the move that I was hopefully anticipating there, but a bit unlucky getting caught in that range. So trade results. Now we got 2 losses on the books. Big power move there. See if we can get a retap into the IB here. So I got this target up here for sure. Wow. It's gone. Holy shit, man. Wow. Okay. Holy shit. Some first level of liquidity right there. This thing's still pumping. Oh man. I jumped in for a long there and I didn't get filled. Whoa, shit. I don't know what the hell just happened there. That was strange. Looked like I got filled there twice. What the fuck was that? I was trying to get in from this flip right here on the level. It was right here. By the time I can get an order. Oh, I was on the 20 ATM. Shit. Oh, I was on the 20 point ATM. I should have been the 30. It's always set to the 30 on my 120 range. Dang it. So we got some news that Iran's drafting a protocol with Oman for Hormuz Strait traffic. So I guess allowing traffic to come through the straits again. That was at 9:36. Oof, man, that was exciting. And out of this entire move, the only setup that appeared was right here, right off of our key level at the 24,184. Got the footprint confirmation. Should have got another 10 points out of that. So, I mean, we should have had a P&L of about... But that was weird. It seemed like it entered in... Or, you know what? Maybe... Let me take a look at my other accounts. No, everything's up 110 bucks. Strange. Yeah, it was. There's headlines on the straight there. I mean, the 120 was acting like a 30 range. Like a 30 range on steroids. And these are 30 point candles. So that was pretty fucking nuts. What else we got? We got some other still pieces of liquidity sitting up here that they might want to target. I will say that that trade was a bit risky on the second. I mean, the first one to me hit really quickly, but when it retraced back into my entry, that was no better than a 50-50 proposition. But we'll take the small green for the day. And so much to unpack there now. All right, let me go get a fresh cup of coffee and we'll be right back. Let's see if we can unpack all that movement. All right, loaded up on coffee. All right, 1 second, guys. Yeah, you could see where my original entry was at. A lot of zero prints, very thin right there. We finally came back, tapped in. That's when the volume started to kind of come back and picked up. Just to a piece point. All right. We got a few things to do here now. Get rid of this guy. All right, so our piece of unbalanced volume by buyers right now is sitting down here. Okay, this is buyers here. Majority of the move came in this area right here, so nothing here am I really looking for unbalanced volume because that was a big headline spike. I'd rather see where the move came, where it originated from. Some obvious places of liquidity for them would be they never retapped into the IB high, I'm sorry, at the 24004s. And I believe that this is the IB low, so let me just get this set. Yes, that is right. That is correct. Let me jump over here to the 2 minute. So it looks like that setup I had mapped out in gold here. If you take a look here, if you go down to the 1 minute, you'll see that this came a tick away from our entry, then took TP, then spiked right here. So that was a little bit unfortunate there. But those headlines were nasty. Again, so just some thoughts here for the rest of the morning. We got the initial balance high, where we can maybe get a reaction from. We do have this piece of buyer unbalanced volume sitting right here at the 23,967s to the 23,930s. And then the one that I'm really interested in is this guy right up here. So we've got a key level sitting at the 24,349. Majority of all of our key levels today have been respected pretty well. In fact, took the first trade off of it. Took the second trade almost off of it as well. That's where my continuation play was at. So on this particular situation, what I'd like to see maybe is a sweep of this level with a continuation to the downside. Now, obviously, we're in a big uptrend here. So we got to stay a little nimble and cautious here, but that's the play that I see. Obviously, the IB high plays in a little bit better in with the bias of the morning. But we got to see. So now for all of those zero prints that you saw on the footprint chart, now what the market's going to want to do is it's going to want to balance all of those out. Ooh, nice trade, Grant. AP, what VPS are you using? Ninja Trader has their own VPS? that like an add-on or something like that? I've never heard of that one. That's news to me. So is it just called NinjaTrader VPS? Is it by Quant VPS? I don't think it's a NinjaTrader product. I think it's probably just a labeled product, because I see NinjaTrader 60% off for first month. Okay, relax. View pricing. Perfect for 1 to 2 charts. Strategies on NinjaTrader, $79 per month. I don't think that's going to cut it for me. Let's see what... Perfect for 1 to 2 charts. What the fuck am I going to do with 1 to 2 charts? Oh, I see here. VPS Pro Plus. 3 to 4 charts. I don't know what they consider a chart. If it's a window or an actual chart. Because chart-wise, I've got... 7, 10, 12, 15, 20, 21, 22, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31 charts currently on NinjaTrader. Now, if they consider them windows, like a chart within a window, then it's not a big deal. Then I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 windows open. Well, I'm tracking gold, the NQ, the ES. So that's 3, and then I've got my time for. I've got my main screen that you guys are looking at. I don't look at this for any technical analysis. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 charts right here, just to show you guys, you know, what I'm trading from. So that might put things in perspective there for you. And it's really not a lot. In fact, I wish I could have a few more. And I'm looking at it, I mean, besides maybe the gold footprint chart that I don't really use too much, since I haven't been trading it as frequently. You probably get rid of maybe 4 or 5 charts there, but good job, JLo's. 230 bucks. Good job, my man. No, that is not even including TradingView. TradingView is actually much more simple. I only have two charts in TradingView. I've got my weekly band chart and my scalping band chart. And that I only really use for Discord and my Signal members to provide the scalping. I don't use TradingView to trade from. AP says they got their high performance package. I like high perform. I like the sound of that. Let's see here. Maybe you're not on. Maybe it's a different provider, because what I'm on Quant VPS's website, which says, you know, NinjaTrader high performance NinjaTrader VPS for automated futures trading. Which I really don't need the automated part, but. Oh, I think I did see that in the search results. Hold on, let me take a look there. Mobile. So, high performance, 119 a month. Recommended for multi-monitors and trade copying. That's not bad. I mean, granted, my CPU specs blast this one, but and the only reason why I kind of like it is that, you know, regardless where you go, your charts are all the exact same, which I do like that. Even though, I mean, 95% of my trades are all on this computer down here. Kind of snoozing on this one. I looked at it and then I don't know where my brain went, but this was a nice flip right here for continuation to the downside. Red footprint, green delta. I was looking at it at one point, which doesn't mean much. I don't know, I'd like to see maybe a retest here of the initial balance high. Did leave a little piece of unbalanced volume sitting right here. Maybe not the greatest setup. There's a tap. They ran through that one pretty good. MV, no, the winner's picked at 10:45 a.m. So we got about another 30. Why can't I do that math? 39. 39 minutes, 38 minutes. So sitting on a little over 900 bucks here this morning. 2 wins, 2 losses. I guess I could kind of complain about, having the wrong ATM there. I had it on a 20, and that chart's always set to 30. I don't know why it was set to 20 on that one. But at the same time, I felt like I got pretty lucky on that last trade, because the initial entry got pushed. It didn't fill me, came back, then filled me, took me to TP, and then, when I say that I didn't get lucky on the ATM, but let's just see. I don't even know if we would have gotten the 30? Fucking all this shit over here. Right there. Oh, 34 points, yeah. It's like you can almost keep trading this level back and forth. ES has got some volume that it's currently looking to balance out at the 620s and the 622s, almost 1,000 contracts on each. So, that's why I'm a little leery on shorts right now, because we could just come right back in here and tap into those pieces of liquidity. as I say it. That's what we do. All right, they're absorbing a shit ton there. You can see the buyers absorbed about 2,000 contracts right there. Now let's see what they do with it. Let's see on the, there you go. There's your absorption right there on your footprints. Oh, another 1,000 just stepped in at the 66.25s. So we'll see if the market goes in and takes those out as well. And here's the absorptions right here on this candle and on this candle right here. And they're currently going into it right here. Another 1,300 contracts now just popped up at the 66.27s. Kind of been seeing the same thing every single day. Today seems like a lot more contracts here though. Yeah, I saw that it dropped down to 137 contracts. But let's see. Let's see if this guy starts floating. So in this scenario, I'll see if that 27 starts floating downwards. But if we start making a move here to the downside, if we start making a move to the downside here like this, and that those 1,300 contracts start floating on us, that's going to be a sign that this market's going to definitely be dropping. And what you can wait for is when we finally tap back into it, then we get a really nice move, which is exactly what happened on Monday. Talked about it yesterday, actually. Didn't actually see it play out in the market yesterday, but every day is different. So 1,500 contracts just appeared at the 66.12, and they just disappeared. They be playing some games. And they just reappeared. 66.17s. Somebody needs to see this market take a drop. I don't know. I have my chart set up pretty clean. I don't got the ass bid last. I don't have icebergs. There's imbalances. There's a whole suite of nice little tricks. All right, let's see if they disappear here. Let's get on the ES footprint. They're gone. Both of them are gone. The 66.27 and the 17. Fucking bullshit, man. I thought that's supposed to be illegal. Well, let's see. Let's see if the market... I'm pretty sure it is. I believe that rule came out sometime in like 2018 or 17, if I'm not mistaken, but... Who the fuck's really gonna be catching that? I mean, that's an enormous... That's 3,000 contracts, you know, that's deliberate. That's not somebody thinking, oh, maybe we'll take a position or not. So now the market sees it doesn't have much resistance here. Here they are again. Well, they're still at least at the same number, the 66.27. So let's see if this let's see if that's bullshit or not. Yeah, I could see that's hard to prove, but it's also pretty easy to see that as price action is getting 2 to 3 points from their target, they're disappearing. And a position size that big is not something that you decide on a whim. That's pure manipulation. But we can maybe take a little bit of intel from there. I mean, they disappeared and the market ripped about 10 points to the upside on the ES. I mean, you don't see any of that shit on the NQ. You always see it on the ES. The NQ is as calm can be right now. Just hanging around this level. I said we could probably just keep trading this level for a while, and that's been the case. It's good until it's not. All right, give me a minute or two. Let me see if I can get everything prepped up, ready for the giveaway. I don't want to count my chickens too early because we still got some time to hopefully take another trade, but well, I think J Love had a good he had a good day. I think he hit 50% of his consistency rule on Lucid. Well, J-Loves, I've been on 2 funded Lucid accounts for let's see how we can find that out. It's got to be February. Let me see here. Lucid. Let's see. Funded account activation complete. You're funded February 11th. I got funded with 2 50K Lucids. And from that point to now, I am up 811, 813, Control Center. Oh, where are we at? Lucid LF. Yep, 8002 is up 816. 8001 is up 811. And that's from February 11th. So, granted, one of them's up today 110 bucks. 126 is gross. So slow and steady. You know, there's obviously a couple different conventional wisdoms on the fundeds. You can go slow and steady. You can do staggered accounts like what I do, which I personally, I'm a big advocate of. You guys have seen I've had some days that that you know are pretty nasty to the P&L, and just one group of accounts get hit that day, you know, and the other 2/3 of the accounts they don't see that loss. Granted, on the days that you have some consistent winners, or let's say one big winning day, it's just one group that's got the one big winning day. And my position sizing, even though I have increased position sizing here towards like the end of March, middle end of March, I think it was. I think it's probably been about 3 weeks that I've been on the increased position size. Which really was only one micro added to 9 accounts, but that adds up. I mean, that's an extra $1,000 in a trade day. So you can make very small incremental increases, and you know when you go slow and steady, you obviously have a very, very, very little chance of blowing accounts. I've been on the exact same legacy PA Apex accounts since November, can't remember now, but it's got to be around that point. And granted, if I would have traded December with increased position size, let's say 1E mini, those accounts would have been blown. December was pretty bad. If I was trading 1E mini in January, I would have taken already some pretty nice payouts on probably 2 groups. February was slightly up. I think all the accounts were up maybe $500 each one of them. Nothing huge. But again, it's small micros, and it's just very small monthly incremental increases. Some months, some groups are going to have really good months. Like I have got my group 3. That is it. Group 3 or group 1? Hold on. This is group. No, actually, it's my group 2. My group 2 is the closest to payouts. They were the ones that were the closest to a payout, and took that $900 per account loss. I think it was I don't know, maybe a couple of Fridays ago, that ended off the stream minus $9,000, which was a huge hit. That was the second day of my increased position size, so it's probably about 2 weeks ago. Fought my way back on all of those accounts to a negative $200 per account, so that was a huge win for that group. But then you have some months where the groups, one group is performing much better than the other. Eventually, when one group gets into payout, you've got a small window there that you're probably not going to take many trades from, and your other groups those take on more. They see a little bit more action, and it's definitely slow and steady. And I know what gets into people's psychology. A lot of people pass their evals so quickly, because they're usually increasing the position size. And let's say you have 3 or 4 days of good trades, which is awesome. 3 or 4 good days of trading, and you hit that $3,000 goal. And then you say, well, shit, if I just do the 3-4 more good days of trading under the new rules, under the funded, I'm in the green. I could take my first payout. And that's a strategy. Don't get me wrong. That's definitely a strategy. That's more a strategy on kind of recycling accounts, where, you know, people will just risk the house and bank on some payouts. And if they don't get it, they just start right back over, and you kind of get stuck in that cycle. But eventually you will get a payout. You just got to make sure that your payouts are going to be more than your overall cost in not only the evaluations but the funded stage of the evaluations. You know, that's why I really do like Lucid's overall program. Their program is extremely similar to Top Steps as far as their rules on their payouts and their consistency, and you know, their, you know, what you need to hit per day once you're funded, and then from that point on you can pretty much take 50% of your whatever profit you've got in your account, as long as you hit those minimum trading days of profit. So in theory, you know, right now, yes, I could take out $800 combined from my 2 Lucid accounts, but what is that going to do? It's going to leave me with $400 in buffer, and that's, to me, is not worth it. Those got to get up to, you know, the $3,000 to $4,000 range. Take a good $2,000 to $1,500 payout on each, and eventually, once the trading gets good, which the last couple of months have not been the greatest, but once the trading gets good and those accounts are all in a profit already, man, you'll see the cycle will just work in your favor so quickly, where, you know, 1 week you're taking payouts from one group. Those are like 7 to 9 accounts. You know, another week, 2 weeks, you're taking another one, and that's the goal. You know, that was the goal that I had. It was kind of almost a 6-month goal, where eventually you get to the point where you should be taking payouts consistently every 2 weeks, and that's what I worked on with Grok to come up with the staggered approach to prop trading, and I like it. You know, it's you're not going to blow accounts this way, you know, unless you see me have, you know, 7 days in a row of minus $4,000 days, $3,000 days. You know, it's going to be a challenge to, you know, to actually blow those or hit your trailing drawdown. So my son was waiting for his payout with Legends for $500, and it had gotten to like the 6th day, and I'm like, Matthew, you gotta reach out to customer service, because that's not right. I mean, the payouts should be, you know, within 1 to 2 days at max. And we went out to lunch yesterday because the wife and my daughters are in Florida for spring break, so I took him to lunch. He's on his spring break too. Took him to lunch, and then he's like, Dad, I did contact customer support, and I never set up my Wise account to get paid, so that's what the delay was. So he set that up yesterday. He should be getting his payout, I'm assuming, today. And he is, I believe, from yesterday. I know he said he took a $500 win on Top Step, but I don't know if that was before we had the conversation or after. But he's got about 1,100 more to go to get to his 2 funded, hopefully to fund those 2 Top Step accounts. He did blow 2 in 1 day a couple weeks ago. I'll let you guys know that, which he was pretty bummed about. But all right, let's see this. This looks interesting. They didn't even absorb, did they? Yeah, they are literally just, I mean, it was at the, they had orders at the 66.25s, and then they had literally, I don't know if they absorbed. I don't think they did. Let me look at the footprint here. Oh, they did. Oh, so they finally did absorb. So they actually absorbed right now one of these. Sorry, you can't see that. I'm trying to get better at that. But they did have finally absorbed that. So they actually did go through with a position there. what I can do from there. I'm not too sure at this point. All right, 10:45. Shit, let's go. All right, let's see how much we got on the line here for today. It's gonna be kind of small, but something's better than nothing. 945 times 5%, 47 bucks. So maybe enough to get an eval, or I guess a really nice lunch, maybe an average dinner. Something's better than nothing. It makes me happy. All right, so let's load these up. We stay pretty consistent with the amount of comments that we get. It's usually hovering in that 70 range. All right, one winner. Let's do the spinning wheel like that. 15-second duration. And the exclude duplicates. Hashtag for today is footprint. Confirm. All right. And once the winner is called, there'll be a 2-minute marker on there. Sorry, a 2-minute timer on there. Let me get rid of this here. Perfect. All right, here we go. Spin the wheel. All right, Colochino. You've got 2 minutes from right now to type in thanks into the chat, and you will be the lucky winner of $47 cash. Colochino. Oh, you got it. Thanks. Perfect. All right, so we got our winner for today. Colo, stick around for 1 second. Put an @ sign here. Okay, so Colochino, just send me an email to my email address that's right there, and I'll get you all set up. $47 won by Colochino today. Good job. Congrats. And if you guys haven't, I appreciate a like on the stream. And my plug for today is, I know there's a lot of people that you might be watching on YouTube or follow. They all have codes, and I get it. If you are looking to purchase something from a prop firm, you can always use my code TraderRob. I truly appreciate it. Appreciate the support that you guys give me here each and every day. I mean, I've had a blast doing it since November. Haven't really encountered anything ridiculous on YouTube yet, so I'm having fun with it. Hopefully you guys are learning a few things. I know for sure I've already learned a few things. People, the viewers are constantly giving me some recommendations and, things that I'm looking for that they already know that they have that works out. So I truly appreciate the small community that we've grown here. Oh, let me take the timer off. No, Tiger, TopStep doesn't have any affiliations. I used to be affiliated with TopStep when I first started. It was actually the first prop firm that I ever started with. And they did have an affiliation program back then, but I I want to say, I think for everybody, they cut it off. I know they cut off most of the small affiliates in the beginning part, and then they kept a few, and then eventually those few went away. That's why you primarily don't see... I mean, I still talk about Top Step because I personally still trade with them. I have, you know, 2 funded accounts. I have 3 funded accounts with them. So I don't talk bad about Top Step. In fact, I think they're great. The only thing I really don't like about them is that I can't trade them with NinjaTrader. If I could trade them with NinjaTrader, you know, I would say Lucid's awesome, but you know, they're pretty similar in that regard. But the fact that Lucid now has NinjaTrader for me is a no-brainer, and I think they filled a really good void there. I know Apex is the monster. They're the best, obviously, for scaling. I personally witness it. I see it, how that scaling can work in your favor if you're responsible with it. Because you know, if you've got, let's just say, I know activations can be a little cheaper, a little bit more, but back in the day with the legacy accounts, you know, if you were activating 20 PA accounts at, let's just say, $80, I mean, that's $1,600 that you were putting in. So you had to get some payouts from there. And you know, if you're trading all 20 at the same time and you're trading with an E-mini and you have a bad day and you blow it, you know, you're kind of going through that cycle again, but that cycle is obviously costing a pretty penny. So there's that. Yeah, I know that they've got I think it's a 5K cap on there, so. All right, guys, that much to do here in this sideways range. I'll be honest with you, the only thing I'm really, I guess not really the only thing, but I'm very interested in retest here of the IB high. And I mean, besides that, I don't really see much, on the radar. So we'll call the stream a day for here today. I'll stick around with my single members here for a little bit, and we'll see what if price action wants to move here. We've been pretty much staying in this range since about 9:30 on that big initial push, and as you can see, there's been some shenanigans here on the ES that still seem to be playing out. So be patient. You know, stay in the game. Every single day, you got to stay in the game. One more day. Things will get easier, I promise you. Or if not, they get harder. You just have to adapt. And eventually, the hard times is what makes good traders. I'm a big believer of that. So stick to it, have the faith, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow for the official first Friday of April. Take care, everyone.